Hi everyone, welcome back to my Python laboratory series. For today's video, I'll be showing you my midterm laboratory activities in Python, which cover function, loops, and conditional statements. In this video, we'll be doing 5 mini programs: the add even counter, factorial calculator, simple discount system, temperature category, and the number guessing games. Each of these programs will show how we can combine functions with loops and conditions to make our code organized and efficient. So let's start the demo. So for our first activity, we have the even and add counter. Dito gumagamit tayo ng function na check even add na may parameter or argument na num para malaman kung even or odd yung number. Then dito naman, gumagamit tayo ng while loop that will allow the user to enter 5 numbers. So let's discuss this function first. So gumagamit tayo ng def to define a function. This is our function name and this is the parameter. So if num daw, so itong num na to, yung value ng num na to, galing siya dito sa input ng user. So, etong user input, binabato niya to dito sa num na parameter. That's why ang magiging value ng num is yung user input dito sa outside ng function. So, if yung num daw is, if num modulo 2 daw is equals to 0, therefore, ang even count natin is madadagdagan or mag-update siya. Magpa-plus 1 siya. So, what is this global even count? So, itong global even count, since yung even count natin is a global variable and ina-access natin siya sa loob ng function, gumagamit tayo ng global so that we can modify the even count. Kasi if we don't put this, therefore, we cannot modify even count na variable inside this specific function. Else naman, if mag-fall siya dito sa if condition, else the global add count naman, siya naman yung mamomodify and siya yung mag-a-add ng 1 dito sa counter natin. So, ang first display niya is this print and then nag-set tayo ng default user input times which is 0. Then from 0 to 4 kasi less than 5, mag-i-input ang user ng number. Then mag-i-increment siya. But before it increment, ipapasa niya muna yung value dito sa check even add na function natin to check if it's add or even. Then this part naman, ipiprint niya kung ilan yung even and kung ilan yung add. So let's do a demo. For example, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 4. So we enter here 5 numbers. So ano ba yung mga add number dito? 5 lang. Since 6, 8, 10, and 4 are all even numbers, then nakita nyo naman dito, nag-update yung even count to 4. Kaya nag-display siya ng 4 dito sa even count and add count to 1. So, simple lang siya, pero very useful siya sa useful siya to introduce us doon sa paggamit ng loops and function calls. Next is the find factorial calculator. So first, nag-define tayo ng function which is find factorial na may parameter n. So inside this find factorial function, nag-declare tayo ng variable y and nag-assign tayo sa kanya ng value ng 1. So itong 1 na to, ito yung magiging starting point ng ating multiplication. Then after that, gumamit tayo ng for loop kung saan gumamit din tayo ng range. So inside this for loop, gumamit tayo ng range. Ibig sabihin, nitong parameter na laman ng range is that magsa-start tayo sa 1 hanggang doon sa value ng n, which is naka-specify here. So sa bawat ikot ng loop, nag-a-update yung value ng y doon sa y multiplied by I. So, itong I na to, minumultiply siya doon sa value ng y. So, for example, y is equals to 1, then ang current value ng I is 2, then 1 multiplied by 2. Then after that, after masatisfy or makapag-loop siya until the very end, i-return niya yung nakuha niya ditong value dito sa return y and mababato siya dito sa outside ng loop, which is print factorial, find factorial x. So, mare-return niya dito yung value. So, halimbawa, kung mag-input tayo ng 5, let's do a demo. Okay. Let's do a demo. Mag-input tayo ng 5 dito. So, the factorial will result to 120. So, ang computation nito is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. That's why nakuha yung factorial na 120. So, instead of manually doing it, gumamit tayo ng for loop para mag-loop siya ng mag-loop until masatisfy niya yung specific condition. So, this is a very simple way to use function, to use for loop na may range din. Let's try another value here. For example, 12 naman. So, ito, nakuha natin yung factorial niya. For the third one, ito naman is a simple discount system. So, dito, nag-define tayo ng function which is the get discount with the parameter amount. Then, outside ng function na to, we use print as header. Then, user input is equals to float. So, tatanggap siya ng float na value. Enter total amount. So, if the user input is greater than or equal to 1,000, ayan, tatawagin niya yung function na get discount user input. So, tsaka siya ma-validate. So, kapag pumasok siya dito, nag-run to, pupunta tayo sa function na get discount and then yung in-enter na total amount dito, matuthrow siya dito sa amount. So, i-check niya. If yung amount is greater than or equal to 1,000, magkakaroon ka ng 10% discount. So, this is the formula for 10% discount. And i-update natin yung value ng amount using amount minus equals discount. So, ang magiging new value ng amount is yung may deducted na ng discount. Then, saka ipiprint yung discounted amount. Else, kapag naman hindi na-meet yung hindi na-meet to, therefore, there is no discount or no discounted amount. So, let's try this one. Float would not convert string to float. Bakit daw? User input is equals to float, input, enter amount, total input. Okay, let's try this one again. So, paano F50 lang? So, hindi ka nag-run. So, maybe we'll remove the if statement then. As is na yan siya. So, 50. Let's do 50 here. So, ayan, no discount amount. So, yung kanina, may if statement na. So, hindi niya na nababasa or nagsa-stop na siya kasi hindi na siya pumapasok sa function natin kasi nagsa-stop na siya kapag hindi niya na-meet tong if statement. So, we had logical issue lang kanina but it works fine now. Let's do a demo again. What if 12,000 pesos? Ayan, so discounted amount. Nag-discount siya ng 10% from here. To display niya yung discounted amount as this one. So this is a very simple discount system that demonstrates how if statement can handle real-world conditions like discount in sales. And of course, usability din ng discount na to since hindi mo na siya kailangan i-declare ng i-declare kasi pwede mo nang tawagin yung mismong function na lang. So it makes your code cleaner and shorter talaga. This is the temperature category program. So in this program, may function tayong naka-define which is the check temperature with the parameter temp na nag-check kung ano ang temperature based doon sa input ng user, either cold, warm, hot, or hot. So let's first discuss yung outside noong ating function. So dito nag-declare tayo ng user input times to 0. So while user input times is less than to 5, so which means mag-enter tayo dito ng 5 times because nag-start siya sa index 0. Then mag-i-increment yung user input times, mag-update siya every time na pumapasok siya dito sa while loop. Then temperature int, mag-a-ask siya ng temperature input. And then, tatawagin niya yung function. So, this is called a function call. So, pag natawag niya na yung function, ihahagis niya yung value ng temperature na in-input natin dito sa loob ng function na check temperature. Then, i-check niya if it is cold, warm, hot. So, gagawin niya to 5 times since maglo-loop siya ng maglo-loop until magiging less than 5 ito. Until magpo-fall siya dito sa condition. So, let's try it. Sample, maglagay tayo dito ng 30. So, it's warm. It's nakategorize siya dito as warm. 50, 10, 28, 34. So, dito nag-input tayo ng 50, nakategorize siya as hot. Then, nag-input tayo ng 10, nakategorize siya as cold. So, this is a very practical example lang ng paggamit ng conditional logic sa ating program. And for our last program, we have the number guessing game. So, dito gumamit tayo ng function na check guess na merong parameter. So, nakita nyo naman na pwede magkaroon ng multiple parameters sa function. So, for this specific program, meron tayong secret and guess na parameter. Sabi dito, if guess is equals to secret, so kapag same daw ang guess and secret, magpiprint siya ng correct you win. LF naman daw, kapag mas mataas yung guess kaysa sa secret, magpiprint siya ng too high, else too low. So, outside our function, outside the body of our function, meron din tayo ditong logic. So, user guess type, naka-initialize siya to 0. So, itong while na to, this takes the user input and limits it. So, naglilimit lang siya ng guess into 3. So, while user guess times is less than 3, pagpiprint siya nito, mag-a-ask siya ng guess the number. Then, once nakapag-ask na siya ng guess from the user, tatawagin niya na yung function na check guess. Then, itong 3 na to, itong value ng 3 na to, ito yung value ng secret natin na i-guess. So, in this specific case, predefined siya or naglagay tayo ng default value. Then, ipapasa din natin yung user guess kung ano yung in-input ng user. Tas ito yung i-check niya dito sa ating if condition sa loob ng ating function. Dito naman, if user guess is equals to 3, which means kapag na-guess na ni user na 3 dito, magbe-break na siya or magsa-stop na siya. Therefore, user guess, tas ito naman, if hindi siya mag-true dito sa ating if statement, mag-break na siya. Mag-increment pa rin user guess time. So, for us to understand it better, let's do a demo. Tapos 5, too high, 3. So, ayan. Nung nag-guess niya na 3 siya, nag-break na siya or nag-stop na siya. That's why nag-print siya ng correct. You win. So, try natin ulit. What if masagad natin ang guess time? So, ayun. Nag-limit lang siya into 3 guess, then nag-stop na yung encode. So, this is how we combine function, loops, and condition in a fun way. So, maganda siya gamitin. Lalaroin, ganun lang. Very nice.